Flatbush, Brooklyn, New York. My grandmother bought the house in '77. My grandmother was the second vice president at Chase Manhattan Bank. Not only was there not a lot of black female homeowners, in this particular area where I live in, there were no black families, period. We left Brooklyn and went to Maryland. Annapolis. Then from Annapolis, we bounced back to Brooklyn. Then my dad brought me and my mom to San Diego. Circa 1982, we came back to New York. My grandmother always rather us have our friends come here than us be out and about, because she knew, one, she can accommodate them, and two, I don't know how these people raise their kids, but I know how we raise yours. And because of that, dudes over there that don't deal with dudes over there became cool. And there was a lot of bridging going on because this was Switzerland. Like, it will not happen here because everybody had so much respect for my grandmother and my mother. And then eventually for me. We were the gentrification on this block. This block, there was no, like I said, there was no black people really on the block when we moved in, so we were the gentrification. My spirit, very African-American. My story is very African-American. But I was palatable to a lot of white people because I was familiar. The freckles made me familiar. The red hair made me familiar. And I'm articulate, so that didn't hurt. Educated, articulate. I've seen the world a little bit, so I can talk on a broader scale. So it was like, you know what, we can deal with this one. And then when they realized I was smart and talented, then I became novel. Then it was like, who's going to be the first to put their name on this little black guy? We didn't really understand gentrification until we went up on the avenue at 2, 3 in the morning, and they look really comfortable. Like, you know, I'm not even all the way comfortable at 2:30 in the morning over here. Maybe they didn't get the memo where they at. And before you knew it, it started to become commonplace. The white people used to handle me like, in 10 years, you're gonna be, and in 15 years, you're gonna be, and maybe we should, because then, and everybody else is just kind of like, what can we do now? What can we do now? What can we do now? It gave me a 10-year mindset as well. Like, it made me believe that in 10 years, here's where I'm gonna be. So I had a 5-year plan at 5. You know, Decepticon Sean, I mean the Trick-a-ton Don, man, the pin push gets it clicking with the grammar and comma. The young president, this word to Obama is lights out, homie. Ashes to ashes, man, dust to dust. I'm putting money in them guns that I trust. Now watch out for me. There ain't nobody in this game like us that gets to getting it. It's never enough. Now let's go. I'm a Decepticon. Hate saying gang, but it's a street family, man, that started in Brooklyn behind 3 brothers that got tired of getting bullied and picked on. The beauty of it, I think we're the only gang in history that had a whole bunch of geniuses. We were all smart and creatives from specialized schools. We weren't the typical public school kid. When Boot Camp formed, I was still a little younger than these guys, but I knew they were of my lineage when it came down to being Decepticons. I got a call from a kid named Guap, and Guap was like, listen, I'm over here with Steel and them, and they need artwork. I had Steel come to the office. We had a meeting at the office, and then we rode back to Brooklyn together, and from there was history. Staples on the front line, heavy artillery pack supports and some moonshine, 2 9s with polyurethane grips that pop spines out of columns, and they never gon' slip. My aim sick as a marksman, aim as I spark them, then validate his gully as I park some word cuts his Kruger. I peacock on blocks with Lugers and unmarks as I plot maneuvers. Start studying the alleys in the side blocks. Sitting by the mailbox, sit, watch a nigga till he headed to the bus stop. Send shots, hit a nigga. My mom was a designer and an artist herself, so I figured artistic representation of her was important. I'm only 3 months in, man. She died September 26th. Last show I did was 2 days before she passed in Tampa. And then I come back off the plane on the 26th. I get a call that she's not doing well. I go straight from the airport to the hospital, all my luggage in the car. When I walk in, they tell me they revived her twice. I come home to change and get my sister, and I get a call before I even get back that she's gone. So she hung on long enough for me to get home and say bye. I didn't realize it because I thought I was good. You know, I thought I was good. I'm good, man. I'm trooping. We gonna get it. And we working, and we moving until the fight was over. You know what I'm saying? And now you cleaning up after the fight and you don't realize, you know, you don't bruise till the adrenaline stops. So once the business was handled, she was put to rest, that's when it all just started surfacing. So it took me out the game. It's so important for me to make my way back, even though it's only been 3 months, but my mom was a resilient woman and she built resilient people. So if I take too much longer, she's going to feel some type of way. Losing somebody this close is one of those absolute slaps in the face about the fact that time is not yours. It's the moments and the steps and the journey, everything. Every single design counts. Every single sketch counts. Every single bar counts. Every single track you listen to counts. The journey. Special delivery, y'all open up his dome for him, bitch. Nigga, chivalry. Shells bicentennial. Cal, half a century. Team from the block, beast. Whole half of infantry hands.